All right. We should be set. I'm just gonna remove these because I had filmed a review before, so now I'm just gonna place some of these figures here before I come back. I'm just gonna wait until I see how many is gonna take into the street. Hold on. Let me just go and pick quality ads. Here we go. Sorry about that technical difficulties. I had some weird camera angle that wasn't right. But now I finally did it. Here we go. Let's go. Need a flipping time. Actually, I have a timer right here. Let's see. Timer. Okay, gonna set 1 hour and 30 minutes again. And hold on. Are we set? Yeah. Actually, while we're at it, maybe we'll get it a little bit higher. We need a little bit more hot. Come on. Don't be shy. There we go. Woo! Now you can see me from up here. Yep, this is a continuation of the overall stream that I had, like, move these guys out of the way. Transform these guys. Okay, so 1 hour and 30 minutes, I literally transformed like 49 Transformers. So now I'm gonna check how much I'm gonna transform this time. And now it's gonna be with these guys. So yeah. Without further ado, let's get into the dish. Hellhole that I literally created. Why did I agree to this? Oh well. Let's start off with the Bayway knockoff Prime, which I'm gonna be honest, after that review, some things have begun to well, not feel great. Which is the reason why I suggest you get the Buzzword, the Bumblebee copy instead of, you know, the Bayway one, because here's the thing. When I got the Bayway Megatron and Sentinel Prime, they felt alright. They actually, while the plastic quality wasn't the greatest, I mean, they aren't the greatest of all time, at least they felt solid. At least there were some things that didn't just feel, well, too cheap, like too knockoffy, even though they are knockoffs, but it doesn't feel like a regular bootleg when it crumbles to dust. Well, not for this guy, because he did feel like a goddamn knockoff, a bootleg, a regular bootleg transformer, like, dear goodness. Well, now I get some replacement parts and such, but not for the legs, and probably will never get one because they are literally sold out. Oops. Well, no matter the overall situation, at least the well, I hope I will get the regular Optimus Prime somehow, even though it's gonna be a chore to wait a little bit longer. It is literally on my wish list to actually have an actual Studio Series Optimus Prime. Well, the first, well, the trilogy of the Michael Bay Transformers, where it literally was this kind of truck mode. I'm not talking about the Age of Extinction Night one. But I'm also transforming these so I don't also as well break him. Because, oh boy, it's like a Russian roulette. It's only a matter of time before something just snaps off. Oof. Alright. And the leg starts to fall off. Great. Oh boy. Do. Any chatters? Maybe also share this with others as well. Instead of just letting me just talk like a goddamn fool. But whatever. Only time will tell when there's gonna be more people. Which, thankfully, I can just talk randomly on my stream without anyone just bumping in and just doing something, well, strange. Or literally type something odd. Which thankfully didn't happen to me right now, but, well, I want to see what will happen. Well, at least the truck motor is done. Anyways, trailer. First things first, I need to remove these guys. Like, this is a lot of parts for this yet. Here's the thing about this Jetwing pack is that this feels a lot better, for me at least, than the Optimus Prime. At least the parts are a little bit bigger, but it needs a little bit more paint for the overall jet wings, which I might paint it later on for myself when I actually have the actual, well, more paint and such, like a spray paint than just some kind of a brushing and such, because these feel, well, for this time forward, I may not have actual paints that will pretty much do the job, but hey, c'est la vie. Well, things just knock off the overall armory ring, which we will move and there. But yeah, let's continue on with the overall. Well, let's just say when Transformers Revenge of the Fallen hit, that's when my inner collecting began, because that's literally the starting point of me actually giving a damn about Transformers. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I know the film is pretty bad, but at least it's not The Last Night. Oh, that film. Oh, when I saw that in theaters, literally, I was so damn disappointed. I mean, sure, I know the films were that bad, but I didn't think it could get worse. And guess what? It kind of did, because The Last Night, well, at least the other films had something to make me to fucking care. Well, even though some actually didn't, at least they had some Decepticons that actually fought. Well, these just, oh boy, just build up and then just did not give a damn. I mean, they also had new writers, like, they could have done something, but then I remember those writers were also pretty much like, they were Marvel writers, then, weren't they? And, lo and behold, we got those films. Oh, man. And that is also me questioning about me second guessing about the Marvel writers, because they proved one thing, that they kind of suck some point. Oh boy. But Revenge of the Fallen, while did put some to sleep, at least the overall designs were pretty cool, and actually, hold on, VOD. Hold on. Yeah, sorry about that. This is technical difficulties. I'm just gonna take a break and just see if there's gonna be more in streams. But yeah, I'm gonna open up the window. Whoops. So there we go. And vad i helskotta, jag håller på att ställa. Inte när jag håller på att strömma just nu. Sorry, it was my mom. And of all timing, you chose now. Alright, yeah. Back from 5 minutes. And now I need to close the windows so no difficulties happen. And while I'm doing that, let me just do some other activity. Hold on. Well, maybe they'll deal with it later on. Anyways, let's continue with this nonsense. Sorry about the overall technical difficulties. My mom was literally lighting up smudging. If you don't know what smudging is, it's literally, well, some string, literally lightable material that you literally put on a bowl and then you just light it up just to get some smoke out of it. And my mom literally did it in this morning. I wanted me to literally open up my windows and doors for 5 minutes. Great timing. Anyways, now I wonder how the hell am I supposed to do with these parts? There we go. There we go. Then I need to put this one back in the goddamn. Well, whatever the case is, the trailer and Prime, they are done. Boom. Here we go. And now Birdgate. But yeah, what was I? Oh yeah, Revenge of the Fallen. That was literally Toyline what I was the most interested in. Like Transformers Revenge of the Fallen Toyline. It was it had some class to it. It was filled with gimmicky and some literally complex transformations, but also some that was literally full of masterpieces. Like it was like later class Optimus Prime, it was ahead of its time. And I didn't have that Prime until like 2010 or 2011. And it was on the hunt for the Decepticon line with the Optimus Prime. You know, the bell hook Optimus Prime. Which I did have, but sadly sold out. Literally sold because I had needed to money for something else. But still, the figure was quite lovely. And then we had also the latest Bionicle Magma sets from 2009, which I really did like, but it's also the thing that also was also the sort of a semi-last theme, with the last theme as well, literally was Stars, which sadly was the point of me realizing that Bionicle was pretty much cancelled, which at that time was pretty sad, but man, what a journey it was. And there was also some sets that I still was salty I did not have. Like, man, I really wanted that XLR T9. It was literally the best sets ever existed. And then Maxos and Spinus as well, which I did get Hydro-Action, which, funny enough. But yeah. And I think it was also that point when I started to be more connected with regular Lego sets, which is funny to think about it, because I'm still like a constructional guy, but oh well. But Bionicle, it had a really long storyline, and with so much complexity and such, that understandable why it was, because it would be hard to follow through. And Bionicle is a literal toy line. It needed some sets to sell. Like it was pretty much a story, but toys is also pretty much important to literally market. And considering sets begin to break apart even more with those awful pieces, it was heartbreaking. But I'm glad that it went out with a bang, and that the people, like the old and new, actually got some finally some peace until later on in the stories with great beings, which I did learn that the people of Barren Magma was literally the great beings, which what? Yeah, that was something. So the great beings were just it kind of shocked me in a way, but also anticlimactic. And of course, Greg firstly kind of write up some dumb stuff that the Bionicle doesn't feel actual love in this thing, which, man, come on. As a boy, I kind of wanted some romance at least. Like, come on. Even in my boy, in a young age, I kind of had some kind of romance, which even then I was also a bit shy, but hey, I wanted something instead of just boredom. Which of course comes to another thing that I kind of had a childhood connection to, which was Bakugan and Dinosaur King, which was technically two animes that's literally been American dubbed, but Pokemon was literally the first as well. But yeah, Bakugan was also kind of a thing that I literally was hooked onto. Like the story is some like literally fictional fantasy creatures that literally turn in what's later are turned into balls because the Vestroya was literally in in a break of destruction because of Naga, or literally the bad guy, and the hero is trying to fix the world and all that sort of stuff. And then New Vestroya and of course Foster had what was it? Frank Foster's new home, something like that. Hold on, there was something I had. Yeah, Foster's home for imaginary friends. Like it was also kind of a bit of a childhood I had in my that I grew up with, like the overall imaginary beings that was literally created by kids with imagination. And of course, the overall childhood crush that I had, which was Frankie Foster, believe me or not. Yeah, like everyone else had also kind of these kind of things, which is pretty regular for people. And if otherwise, well, I'm sorry, dude. And then there was also Mary Clay from Bakugan, don't at me. And of course, Rio, Makujino, and Alice from Bakugan as well. Yeah, I think it was also the time where I kind of got interested in something else. Yeah, remember my last stream where I talking about the nudity and stuff? Well, there was other films like My American Pie and the Epic Movie, which was pretty horrible. But yeah, there was some movies that I kind of was 18 plus, which I saw those things, which my well child brain kind of my innocence kind of got pretty much demolished. I'm literally talking about this in the goddamn stream, aren't I? Well, I mean, YouTube will literally have a new CEO, so who the hell cares right now? There's no point in even thinking that you will be hanging, like, which I don't really care at this point. YouTube is in trouble right now with a new CEO. Like, come on. You probably saw the video I literally made, which, oh boy, the new CEO. I'm in danger. Uh, Susan Wojcicki, why did you pick him? Of all people, I'd rather have Mr. Beast taking over as the CEO of YouTube than the guy we literally have right now. Which is literally the guy that literally was the idea of the overall NTR stuff, which, oh my, Susan, why? Why? And I'm not joking, it is. But yeah, speaking of childhood, let's talk about something else, which was Transform. And then there was also other DreamWorks films that I saw as childhood, like How to Train Your Dragon and Madagascar, and then there was also Kung Fu Panda, which man, those movies, man, they were something else. They were good. And here's something also I haven't talked about. Like before these things happened, I also had the we also had kind of Playhouse Disney and Disney Toon, which if anyone remembers, you're also part of the childhood. But there was a lot of things that we had that was kind of well, kind of just in a sense of just playing for fun, but was something else like little Einsteins and such, which was one thing. Oh great, not again. Well, yeah, when trying to transform these things, that's when things get a little bit complicated. By complicated, I mean downright nonsense. But there was also other childhood cartoons that I grew up with, like Ed, Ed and Eddie. There was Dexter's Lab. There were Samurai Jack, as I stated before. There were Powerpuff Girls, don't ask, but yeah, I did grow up with that show as well. Then there was Johnny Bravo, Cow Chicken, all that sort of stuff that I grew up with. And then there was also Kids in the Next Neighbor. Like all these childhood cartoons that I grew up with, they were kind of pretty much my childhood. And then there was also Emperor's New Groove. Well, actually, I think it was Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, Emperor's New Groove. There was also Beat the Robinsons, and then there was other films that I kind of saw as well, which was Atlantis, which I didn't saw that much, but I did see Treasure Planet, which was alright. I mean, actually, it is pretty good. I would say better than Atlantis, but yeah. I will take you later. Right now, but let's talk about something that was pretty much also a groundbreaking thing, and also kind of a thing that also got me into Lego as well, which was Power Miners. Which, man, that toilet was something. Like, man, the crystals, the sets, the crystals, oh, and the rock monsters, man, they were fun. They were really fun. And then there was also the Clutch Power movie, which I really did like. But yeah. There was also other films that I also kind of watched, but not to the full extent. Which was like the X-Men films and such. And I also was kind of the kid that kind of liked the Garfield films, which thankfully I do not look no longer. Because, man, screw those films. Ugh, those films, man. I feel bad for Bill Murray. And then there's also one thing I kind of regret watching, which was Percy Jackson films, which, oh, the Percy Jackson, goddamn. Which I didn't know it beforehand, but learning that the author who did write the Percy Jacksons and the film is quite different from the novel, and it was kind of disrespectful thing to do, to interpret it differently from the novel, which, my goodness, yeah, it was not good. It was horrendous. And here's also a thing that you should probably know is that I kind of like to see behind the scenes a lot. Like, when I was young, my mom had this kind of DVD set trilogy of Jurassic Park, which I kind of ruined a bit, which I do feel bad for, but at least some are kind of fine. Well, The Lost World had seen better days. I was a devil. But yeah, I was pretty much known as seeing a lot of behind the scenes, which is just shocking because I don't know how many people watch behind the scenes a lot, but I certainly do because I want to know information about how they do it, and when I do, it's pretty amazing. I'm invested. Like, come on, don't you want to learn something? What it was like, how it was made? Come on. And of course, there was also other films like Disney films that I kind of forgot to mention about the Renaissance, which was like Lion King, which is it is a pretty amazing movie. Not gonna lie. But then there was also The Little Mermaid, which yes, I did kind of like seeing, but man, I can't forget how some my innocent child I kind of thought some of the designs were really spicy. Yes, I was in that age, and yes, I did thought about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I think you're too innocent to know. But yeah, even my innocence has some darkness to it. But yeah, moving forward, like in 2011, when the innocence of YouTube and such, and of course, Kung Fu Panda at 2, Transformers 8, Dark of the Moon, and of course, what was more that came out in 2011? Wow. 2011. Well, all I can say is that aside from those, when Lego had like Exoforce, which, oh, actually not Exoforce, I mean Hero Factory, which for me, I kind of ignored most of it because I don't know, something about it doesn't hook me on. I mean, I like Bionicle, but when I had the first sets, I was let down. And to be honest, I kind of moved on to Transformers at that point. And I also had a collection of boxes as well when I was in my dad's house, which he immediately literally just threw away, which I was a bit bummed. Like, I could have saved those boxes and kind of sold them at one point. I mean, I like collecting boxes. I mean, they also had like value. Like, come on. But yeah, there was also other things that my dad kind of helped me out, which was getting like the Easy Collection, Revenge of the Fallen Devastator, like the Legends class Devastator size, and then Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class Starscream, and then Jetfire as well, which gotta hand it to my dad, which he was pretty fucking awesome. It's pretty awesome to have those sets. Yeah. And I know that today's kind of like beforehand, I didn't know that my dad was kind of also had a little bit depression and such, but now I'm glad that he kind of is getting a little bit better. Again, is much better than what he was before. Yeah. Shout out my dad. And there was a lot of things that he kind of helped me out with, which it's quite awesome. But yeah. And then 2011, I kind of began to actually travel to other places in like mostly in February, like 2011. First time of my place travel to a different country was well, actually the first time I was actually traveled to a different country, which was Finland, which was actually my first destination, which it is a place where my grandma lives. I mean, she's half Finnish, half Swedish, so there's no argument with that. But yeah, there was a lot of things my grandma kind of got. And there was a lot of things I like to do. Well, whatever it was. But I think 2011 and 2012 was the time when I saw looking up some interesting stuff, let's say. And mostly 2012 when I was a pretty much the known master debater. If you don't know, well, oh boy. If you don't want, if you don't know what Master Debater is, well, I hope someone in the comments know. Someone in the comments will tell you what it is. Well, after the stream, because I don't know if there's gonna be anyone in the stream right now, because no one is literally texting anything. So I'm like talking like a goddamn crazy person. But yeah. I think that was the point where my innocence were pretty much disappeared. And my mom literally had a place on literally a camping place where we literally had a van, a home van, where we literally stayed in the summer and such, which I did not enjoy entirely, sadly. But also, I like 2010 to 2011 and 2012 or something like that. That was literally the time when I got into Super Mario games, like, or literally 2009 when I finally got Super Mario Bros. Wii, or it was 2010, whatever. But I do remember that my dad kind of got me like Nintendo Wii games, which was pretty nice. And I know I got one DS, but it was a Mario edition, and actually played some games that I kind of missed out. Was pretty neat. But yeah, as I was stating before, Lago Torito was kind of a place that wasn't Finland, and was a kind of a holiday vacation, which I got to know a little bit more. And it was actually a nice place to stay on. Like, we stayed there with like 7 days with me, dad, and my sister. Hmm. Fuck, is it stuck? God damn you. Okay, now you're untapped. You damn bastard. Why did I agree to this? Oh yeah, because I asked my audience if they want to see a stream, and they said yes. And what do? Not come to the stream. Sometimes you gotta love your fans. Sometimes you gotta love your audience's decision and their absence. And of course, there was also the time when I got into Minecraft at one point in 2012, which You all remember CyberKnight-Miky? Yeah, before the incidents, he was the guy I kind of got into YouTube a little bit more, and the entertainment as such, and the overall jokes and sides, and actually collabing with other people. And and then there's also some point in my childhood where I learned about well, the truths and such, which sometimes childhood can also be a big lie, which I have learned a little bit the hard way or something like that. But I don't think it's with CyberKnight-Miky, but yeah, there was other buddies who also watched that guy, which well, let's just say the stuff that happened with me in school and bullying and such kind of got interesting because yeah, they say they also watch CyberKnight-Miky and do knows a lot much more than me, but nowadays I can hardly say I would say they would now because of the shit he has done. And if you don't know, well, it's truly an experience that you have been absent about the whole current situation. And this is not gonna move at all. Hold on a second. I'll be back. Whoa, 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 whoa. Do-do-do. Hmm. Hold on. Do-do-do. Find the tool I was looking for. Obviously, kind of confronting of the stream because there was something that kind of got in the way. Oh boy. Oh well. Well, what you gotta do? Either way, let's continue onward. And there was also other YouTube channels that I kind of watched as a kid, which was Annoying Orange, which, yeah, at me, but I didn't know much better, but yeah. When I saw those, I was like, oh, goddamn. And then there was other things that I kind of watched as a kid, which was, well, first of all, it was like, actually, as a kid, I know I had grew up with King Kong than more than Godzilla because the King Kong the Percy Jackson's King Kong, which I kind of grew up with both in the film and the video game. Yeah, those were the things before I knew about Godzilla. But when I finally got Godzilla Unleashed, that's where my inner Godzilla knowledge and fan began to spread out. Like, man, those. When I saw Final Wars, oh man, was it an experience. I'd never seen something like that before. I'd never seen something that fun. Like, wow. And if you haven't seen Final Wars, Godzilla Final Wars, I feel bad for you. I'm sure it's not the best thing ever, but it is quite a amazing experience. Like, it's not supposed to be a perfect film. It's supposed to be Godzilla's 50th birthday celebration, which is still going on with a blast, which is pretty fun. It's pretty amazing. But yeah, here we have the old mode compared to well, let's just compare it to the if I can find it, yeah, the original old mode. This may have transparent plastic, but this has a better looking old mode. Well, this is slim. This is thick. I like thickness. And here's something I also kind of got into Transformers, which was a help of Shanlong, Emgo, Peg, Ball Matrix. There was also Elbow's film, which also helped me out with both Transformers and, well, monster films like Godzilla and Cloverfield, which they were pretty much my childhood, man. Even Emgo. Like, before jumping to Hong, there was these guys, which, and also Optimus, which he pretty much helped out with me loving kind of Transformers Prime figures, which, and there's also Ration Nation, which he also was a kind of literally toy hunting, like the Bay Formula figures, and also, of course, the other Masterpiece stuff. Or literally the later class. Like, he was the guy who kind of wanted me to get who wanted me to have the wish for the Jetwing Optimus Prime. And of course the Striker Optimus Prime. that sort of stuff. But what was I going to say more? Yeah, there was Transformers. There was that. Oh yeah, 2012 was literally the beginning of me actually collecting Hero Factory with the Breakout, which, man, those sets were sick. And that's where my love and affection of Transformers hit, and of course me actually daring to stay alone, because when I was a kid I was kind of a crybaby, believe it or not. I was pretty much afraid to be alone and such, and was kind of a coward, but can't say I'm not that now anymore. Now I finally began to dare do some stuff, and well, except for the dumb stuff, which a lot of people do nowadays, which, why are they doing it? Like, don't you have better things to do? Are you really that fucking bored in your life that you are going to do something that low in your life? Like, come on. Stop being like that. Get some help. Be better. You will prove that society is and evolutions go backwards if you do something stupid stuff like that. But yeah, and it's also the time when I actually get to pay for myself, actually get some weekend cash from my parents and all that sort of stuff. And I think it's also the time when I haven't kind of seen the Hotel Transylvania, which that film was pretty. I mean, when I was a child, it was a pretty fun film, but to say it's a good film is another statement. And the human character, let's just say, looked fine as just human, but when he was kind of the monster in disguise, that's when I found him really annoying. Even as a child, I was not a fan. I mean, sure. I mean, I wish he could have just been more mature, something like that. Like, I've seen a lot of these goddamn films, like even Tangle. At least have some interactions, like something to be interesting in it, not being just a fucking dude. Like, have a character that is something interesting, something like a friends or something like that. That could have worked a little bit better. Like, but instead they were just. But considering when I learned something about Sony Pictures Animation history, and of course I seen Cloud Chance Meatballs as well, which was pretty fun film as well. I mean, people say that it's a good because it's a cartoon, but for me, it's a different story. Oh yeah, I should also mention that at the age of 2011, when Indiana Jones 2 and something like that was kind of a thing. No, Indiana Jones, Lego Indiana Jones 2 video game, and then there was also Dark of the Moon video game, which I wanted it on Xbox, and I think it was either 2011 when I finally got an Xbox 360. Well, my family actually got it, but man, it was a bad place where I celebrated, because we would celebrate with my aunt at different aunts. I have many from my mother's side, and let's just say I did not enjoy celebrating Christmas over there, and I was a bit stubborn as well. But still, not really a neat place to celebrate. And there's also other channels like Disney XD that I also saw as a kid, like Pair Kings. There was also Jesse. There was Zack and Cody in a hotel, and the road trip or hotel like that. There's a lot of things that I saw, and also I forgot. I know there was also another show that had like Selena Gomez as a witch. That show I also saw, but yeah, I wouldn't say they were the greatest thing ever, but they existed. That's for sure. And yeah. But when I finally got an Xbox, that's when things got really, really interesting. And then, 2013 hit, and Pacific Rim happened. Boy, was I hooked. And of course, there was also damn. There was also another film franchise that pretty much was the biggest thing ever, and of course, who could forget Avengers, which I do know I talked shit about Phase 4, but before it was simple time, like the first time, like 2012, when Phase 1 was a thing, that's when things were just so damn simpler. Like, Avengers, man, that film slaps. Like, sure, the characters was kind of one-dimensional, well, some of them, but they felt one-dimensional, but at least they had like personalities with the actors. And the beginning for Joss Whedon's jokes, oh boy, how things went to be. But yeah, the overall experience with that film, I literally had a blast seeing it. Let's just say that. And everyone kind of pretty much agree that the first Avengers film was literally peak Avengers. Like, that was when I wouldn't say peak Avengers, but the start of something great about the Avengers, like the Marvel films, like the cinematic universe. Like, they actually went and did it, like with the overall crossover. Like, beforehand, we had like the Universal Monster crossover, which also did these kind of things before Marvel and such happened. But but they kind of went then kind of lost it later on. Like, some they like I think it was 40s when the Universal Monster films kind of faded and kind of stopped making those kind of movies, because they kind of got not being great and all that such. Which I began to see a pattern here, like a cinematic universe where popular characters that literally crossing each other, and when new things happens, or they shove in new characters without thinking the overall consequences, that's when things went to shit. And it doesn't happen when these things are based on books. Like monster film, like Universal Monsters, literally based some monsters based on novel, and Marvel, the comic books, and then there were also DC, which and Batman, but Tim Burton, let's just say he's something. Here's the thing I kind of gonna admit. I've never seen the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I only saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, which is a literally Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory remake, which is mostly has the base name of the novel. But I mean, a lot of things, a lot of movies are based on novels. Even Jaws, which I know that author kind of regretted writing that novel after the film hit, which kind of peaked the fear factor of people fearing about sharks, and they go and killing sharks because well, sharks are be fucking monsters, sort of stuff, which is a bad rap, and kind of scarred a lot of things. And it doesn't help that I think it was Shark Week or something about shows about shark attacks, which did not help at all. It made things worse. Which, I mean, sharks are animals. They don't know what human beings are. Like, when you did, they just go for you because they are curious. That's why. And there are some sharks that are pretty much passive. They don't bite you unless you do something dumb. Like, if you do something that's pretty fucking dumb, well, that's on you. That's what I'm gonna say. Like, don't be a goddamn sore loser or a damn jerk to other people or animals, or else the consequences will be hard. We're literally living in a society when people don't think straight. There's a reason why that Joker film really was kind of a fear factor for pretty much political things, but for us audience, it was a pretty good movie. And it was mean the hell, but it was done right. You get what you fucking deserve. Oh boy. Well, but yeah, I think the overall, well, the comic book movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America, Thor, Iron Man, they kind of got me into movies and got me into knowing the comic books as well, which I will thank them for that. Just like Transformers actually got me to actually see, well, Transformers the movie, well, on YouTube where it was available, which I did saw, and I will say the film is better than the Transformers the movie. Well, the Transformers the movie was pretty much better than the Michael Bay sequels, that's for sure. But the first Michael Bay film, the first Michael Bay Transformers film, I would say both of them are equal at their own right. I mean, there's some aspect that the Michael Bay film is better than the first Transformers movie, which I'm not gonna say that the Transformers movie sucked or anything. I mean, it is a good experience and fun film, But to say it is a better film and the only good Transformers film, or just a good film in general, that would be a lie. Because there's a reason why this film kind of bombed and was not kind of got a reputation kind of killing G1 for a reason. Because the, here's the thing. I know that people kind of love the film and actually think that the overall fighter battle scene with Optimus Prime and Megatron, well, in the first act at least, was pretty amazing. I won't deny that. But you gotta remember, you need to include every single scene from the film and the rest aspect of the film and this overall story, well, the story of the film. I'm gonna be honest, it was pretty bad. I mean, it's just a goddamn Star Wars knockoff. That's what it felt like. A goddamn Star Wars ripoff. With no kind of aspect, no kind of law. The characters, they just cardboard cutouts and just one dimensional. I mean, sure, maybe RC and Rodimus kind of had a little bit more interest, or literally RC was pretty well known for being a badass female character, but we had Elita 1, we had Chromia, we had Moonracer, we had literally Nightbird, and they were literally the first female, well, literally Nightbird was the first female robot in Transformers. And people just look over thinking that RC was pretty much, well, actually being the most interesting one. But let's be honest. I mean, what's RC known for? I mean, she is a badass character that kind of is more of a mother character, which that's pretty much what she is known for. And then later on in the Generation 3 and 4, which I kind of see a little bit on YouTube, which they kind of resurrected Optimus Prime back, which I learned, which thankfully. But the damage was already done. But because Hasbro, as I looked up, did not even realize how popular it was and how or what the audience saw of Optimus Prime. The only thing the Hasbro team actually saw was just money and just product. They did not even care about these characters, which is the ultimate demise of Hasbro. Like, this is the same reason how the DC, like, I know that have you ever guys heard of the overall multiversal thing that happened? Like, there was one comic series where every multiverse is beginning to disappear except for one universe with one Earth, which is the only thing that survived, which is literally an indication that they're pretty much saying that only one universe matters, because when DC literally did the overall multiverse concept and literally had crossovers with other universes, which they thought it was a mess, but the mess is what made everyone interested in. But for DC, they kind of, literally just killed the ghost and just did not even care anymore. Just kind of ruined things even further, which I know the overly sarcastic productions with Red's dad from overly sarcastic production kind of explained that her dad kind of was a fan of the DC comics until that the crisis of multiversal Earth happened, and kind of wrote a letter to DC and was like, hey, what you're doing is just kind of irresponsible. It kind of messes up things. And the response we got, well, they did not care, which literally got him to not really read the comics anymore. And that is sort of the problem what I had with Transformers, like the G1. Like, what they did was devastating. And people thinking that it was a pretty good thing. No, it should not be a good thing. It was the thing that killed G1. You should not even think it, even supporting a film like that. Like, I mean, sure, the film was pretty much great now, but before, it's just, well, a G1 killer. They literally just did it because they want to sell more products, even without thinking the consequences of killing characters. And here's also a big problem. They killed off characters, and what did they do with the Decepticons? Well, rebuilding them. Flipping smartasses. You couldn't even think about literally, redesigning the characters as well to sell more product. Ah, fucking dumbasses. So yeah, you can tell my voice that, yeah, I learned that beforehand, but actually seeing like the clips before, I knew it was kind of, oof, yikes. Like when Dark of the Moon literally killed Ironhide, that was also a pretty bitchy move of them. Like, yeah, the reason why they did it was because they wanted to have him on Transformers Prime, which guess what? They never did. And the only one they did include was Bulkhead, which in animated Japanese was named Ironhide. But yeah, and also saw a little bit of animated, which is also a pretty good show. But my favorite is Transformers Prime. But yeah, the thing that actually got me interested is Transformers Prime, animated, G1, and, well, animated, G1, Prime, and Beast Wars. Yeah, I was that kind of guy who knew a little bit of Beast Wars. I saw a little bit clips on YouTube, which I did see Beast Wars. Well, not the full extent because I don't think they had every single episode, but I didn't know about the characters. Let's just say that. But yeah, cut to 2013, and the Pacific Rim happened, and the boy was I hooked with the overall monster fights, the overall robots. Man, it's just a dream come true, and that's something. Like, man, that is something that everyone likes. Like I mean, giant robots fighting kaiju's. That is peak performance. That is just peak level of awesome. Like, man, give us some more of that. And they tried to do that with Uprising, and what they did was garbage. To anyone's surprise. But yeah. Oh yeah, also, before you ask, yes, I saw Megamind as such, which I did like the film when it came out in 2010. There was also other films I kind of remember seeing in theaters. Well, it couldn't be Wreck-It Ralph. Well, I did see Wreck-It Ralph, and it was a pretty good film. And then I saw, oh yeah, I was one of those people that did saw, well, Cars 3, Cars 2, Evan the Shipments. Don't ask, but yeah, it was pretty bad. And then I also saw Walking with Dinosaurs 3D, which was pretty bad as well. Yeah, I don't know why my child brain think that would be a good idea to see. And then, see. Oh yeah, knowing the news that Godzilla was coming back, which for me was surprising. Of course, there was also one thing that I also collected in my figure journey, which was Brain Attack on Hero Factory, which was pretty cool, pretty nifty, and I kind of got two over the head and kind of bought so many well sets, which knowing today was kind of a big big mistake. And then there was also Lego Shima, and then I did see Ninjago, which was also part of my childhood as well. But yeah, 2014, well, Godzilla hit. I loved it. I'd say loved it even more than Extinction, that's for sure. Man, that movie. Oh boy. I say that both Revenge of the Fallen and Age of Extinction both suck at the same time. Like, I mean, Revenge of the Fallen is literally a snooze fest, and Age of Extinction kind of was had some neat things, but they kind of literally ended multiple times. Like, it had some aspects that was better than Revenge of the Fallen, but Revenge of the Fallen literally had the satisfaction of the transformation. Like, they had put love and care about the overall details of transformation and all that stuff, but the magic of that transformation disappeared in Age of Extinction. Like, nothing transformed like before. Like, it was just bland. And transforming, like, my god, Michael Bay and the people that worked on it. I mean, what the hell were you thinking? And the jokes, yeah. Can't can't say the jokes were good either. Boy, if I only knew those jokes would be appealing. Well, 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'll check later how many I'll transform later on, but for now, I just want to be done with this shit and just move forward. I know, yeah, I think I also was in that age where I saw, well, Maleficent, which I regret seeing, but there was also the started appearance of the Disney remakes, which, boy, were those a mistake. And then, well, let's say 2014 was pretty interesting, which had quite a plethora of films, which, of course, there were a lot of them. 2015, let's just hop into that. That's where actually my love for anime was at this peak. And then the knowledge of dinosaurs, like me finally seeing Jurassic World, which was actually mind breaking back then. I mean, Jurassic Park, I love that series and I want to see more as a kid. And when that happened in my birthday, yes, believe me or not, which was a bit surprising. Like, every birthday I would go, like 2015, 2018, 21 was when these Jurassic films literally hit theaters, and I saw them, all of them, which, yeah, let's just say mixed opinions. On one hand, I do love the animation, the overall CGI. Well, the first film literally had a little bit of Same story as the first, but a little bit polished, sort of. It was a bit fine, and I do like the Indominus Rex, even though it was a pretty boring look. But Fallen Kingdom, that's when things went wrong, and Dominion, disappointing. But the CGI and dinosaurs designs, I love them. But yeah, I wouldn't say I think Jurassic World was the greatest thing ever. Admittedly. And then, well, Hotel Transylvania 2 happened as well. Then there was also, YouTube Rewind, which, boy, if I had known that Susan Wojcicki was in charge after the 2014, or literally when 2015 hit, things went, well, weird. And I finally became a YouTuber. Yes, believe it or not. That was the time when I finally became a YouTuber. Crazy year. But yeah, I finally stepped out to do something and just wanted to do something else. Just wanted to be, just doing also other content, which my first being literally I Godzilla Unleashed videos, which that's the only thing I kind of recorded, which I had so far. But yeah, I would say it's a neat start. I wouldn't say it's the greatest start, but it was something. And then I started recording, well, Transformers reviews and such. And of course, I also saw Markiplier videos, which I think I did saw. Which, let's talk about the, well, PewDiePie and other YouTubers, which I, mostly PewDiePie and Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, which I did grow up in my childhood. Wireless gaming, well, that happened later on, but when it comes to, well, FNAF, which was also part of my journey, which I know it's just fine in my final verdict, which I kind of was interested a little bit in the story, but later on kind of grew bored of it. Well, at least the original kind of ended, but now, well, security breach happened, and well, I haven't played it yet, but I will eventually, if there's people that will watch my stuff, which, good fucking luck. If there's any people that actually wanted to actually subscribe or comment at least. Like, don't understand why people won't watch this stuff and never respond at all. Like, that is something. I like trying to put some effort, and people just don't respond at all. We really live in a society when people just be ignoring. But yeah, there's also things that I also wanted to play as a child was God of War, which, oh boy, did I really regret not doing. But there's also other games that I also want to play when it was also available at games, game or literally GameStop, was Dino Crisis, which I saw a PlayStation 1 game at that shop, but now it's the game, that store doesn't exist anymore. And oh yeah, let's talk about also Predator, which I saw the first and second film. I think it was also with the help of well, Predators and AVP stuff. And of course, there was also other channels that I saw watch, well, Lego Maniac, not. Well, Mega Maniac or review or well, other channels like By Rock Dude, the Shadow 1-1, and all other sort of biological YouTubers, which actually got me to do these things, but we'll see. And then there was also that year when I discovered Yabby the Hung. Believe it or not. Yep. Yabby the Hung started in 2014, and I started in 2015. Or actually, did it begin later on? Who knows? But I know he reviewed the NECA Godzilla, and then Small Stars Godzilla 2014. What a coincidence. But yeah, 2016 is when things went. Oh boy. Hearing the overall news and such about America and such. And also, of course, I did learn about well, the earthquake and the tsunami incident that happened in 2011, 2012, which my school did brought up, which, boy, oh boy. Yeah, my child was kind of terrified when I saw 2012 by Roland Emmerich, which thankfully that didn't happen, but I think 2012 is literally, I think the point of the end of the world is that everything is just going flipping nuts and being horrendous nowadays, which, seeing what they are pretty much producing, yeah. I mean, at least it's not millennium, which they believe that the end of the world is going to happen when computers taking over and such, but hey, it didn't happen. I think it was at that time when I learned about Doom as well. But I mostly know about Halo with the help of Machinima, which thank flipping hell that they are well, I don't watch them anymore because my God. And of course, I did saw about the Roasted Teeth with the Achievement Hunters. That was also sort of my childhood entertainment. And of course, the toy hunting of Transformers kind of faded away since my local toy stores like BR, Toys R Us, and other food markets didn't even have access to Transformers, which they only had like Transformers Robots in Disguise, Transformers Prime Robots in Disguise stuff, and other miscellaneous stuff, but I think after 2014 and 2015, that's where things just, well, that was pretty much the dark age of Transformers. I mean, sure, like, finally got, like, the main guy, like Devastator, but, I mean, what else was there? I mean, the only thing that was available was, like, upgrade kits and such. And the toys look, well, not the greatest. But hey, at least I got the weapon upgrade kit, which was my taste of third party. which I saw third-party stuff in my youth, which, oh boy, I was thirsty. And of course I saw the random Transformers skits videos by Absurd, which pretty much was nostalgia as well. But I'd say later on when I'm trying to do some stuff, I kind of try to figure out the stuff with the limited sources I had. Like I only had like Movie Maker and YouTube making was new for me back then. And considering I had a shitty computer, did not help at all. Like, man, my PC was so damn. Oh, I mean, like 2015 when I got a new PC and new game. That's when I kind of had something. But then, when my PC tried to play Benny and the Ink Machine 2016 or something like that, that's when things just went wrong. Like, my god. Like, I tried to do something, but my PC was just doing something random that kind of made everything like a mess. And I was pretty much stuck. But thankfully, I did get a MacBook, which, well, did help me a little bit, but, I mean, it's not that much, but it's honest work. Well, the only negative was that I couldn't play, FNAF game. Well, thankfully, it didn't matter because those games were bad anyway. Well, just pure, well, not fun anymore, let's just say, but I was a bit bummed because I literally had so much process and now it's just erased. I think it was 2016 when my computer did happen with that shenanigan, which, oh boy. Oh boy. And I think that was a little bit that overreacted with these kind of things. And there was other things I want to have in my collection, which was like Half-Life and Portal and other sort of well, famous games. But my childhood brain was like dumb and sort of stuff. But yeah, of course the Kid 906, like, man, that guy was a legend. Like, he did amazing Gma videos, and to see him pass away like 2016 or something like that, like later on, or 2012 or any that year, like, he just, I just miss him, man. I mean, he did some great content. I mean, his heavy videos was so entertaining to me. And of course, we had also the Gmod skits, which they also made. Some other YouTuber made, Gmod YouTuber made, and it was pretty amazing. With the hacks guy, kills, and all sort of Valve games that was pretty amazing and pretty entertaining. this other side and be done with it. I think 2017 was, or 2016 or 2017 when I finally got the Wei Jiang Hound figure, which, man, I always wanted a Hound figure, and finally having him was a blast for me. Yeah, poor Wei Jiang. I mean, those were the things that actually got me interested in Transformers even further, and it also got me to third party stuff. But even though they are technically fourth party, but yeah. But to see them literally, well, be dead in 2020 was a breakdown. I mean, what else could we do? I mean, they. Oh well. And speaking of 2017, oh, well, let's just say that my entertainment with Marvel stuff, like, of course, Civil War, which I saw in 2016, and of course, well, the Age of Ultron, which I did enjoy. Well, it wasn't good as First Avenger, but it was entertaining. And the other Marvel films, which, like Ragnarok, awesome film, but now I kind of have second, well, kind of think it twice right now if I even liked it or not, which, given Teddy Martini, oh boy. But Kong Skull Island, I really liked that film. It was pretty amazing. It was pretty awesome. With Kong finally be able to meet Godzilla, and boy, Godzilla at the end, oh, this just makes me moist. And of course, finally seeing the last Bayform Transformers film by Michael Bay, which was The Last Night, which, oh, the disappointment got me so damn frustrated. Yo, I literally had a lung inflation. Well, hold on. Yeah. Pneumonia. Yeah. Yep, pneumonia. I literally had pneumonia. Pneumonia, which I think it wasn't helping a lot, but I also had like pain inside, but it was, I think, pain plus frustration of that film kind of got me, well, being done with things and kind of learned the hard truth and such. But I think it was also that time when I finally saw Avatar, The Last Airbender, and Legend of Korra in that age, which, well, there was also the help with Sun's site, but I will not mention it right now, or else, well, I think you know what site I will talk about. But yeah, I can see why the show had an impact of people, because man, that show, oh, it slaps. And Legend of Korra, not a bad show. I mean, I did enjoy it, but Avatar, The Last Airbender, is pretty the best, quite the best thing. But I saw it only on in Swedish, but I did want to see it in English, which I did have a DVD set, which finally I had. That I found out about science fiction bookstore. Book. Which had like both like a DVD of Legend of Korra and like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which I didn't have purchased then until later on, but well, I think I did. But let's just say I also saw Studio Ghibli films as well, which wow, learning about anime like that was a pretty interesting journey. And of course, I did learn about the Godzilla film as well, which I think I did see. Didn't see until like 2018 or something like that, but I don't know. It was a long time journey, and actually, I think it was like 2017. I actually found about the science fiction bookstore and actually knowing that Godzilla was available, and of course another dog that I had in that journey was Titus, which he was there in my journey, and seeing him pass away summer of July was heartbreaking, but yeah, things happen. But of course, when I finally got to see Gojira, like the 1954 film, that's where I was so damn into Godzilla. Even though I finally got to see Godzilla films, I never got to see like a long time. Like I only had like 2014 Godzilla, but I never got to see. And I also saw like Final Wars as well, but I never got to see the 1954 film, and as well as what was it, 2014, and then there was well, whatever the case is, I also saw the 1998, and then also a little bit of the TV series, which wasn't that bad. As I stated before, wasn't that bad. And then, well, let's just say that my journey got even crazier. And then 2018. That's when things when I became an actual adult, and I finally saw like when I finally saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which was disappointment, Transylvania 3, which was alright. But Infinity War, my goodness, was it a amazing film. I can agree that it is the best Avengers film made. And also the film after that was the heartbreaking truth when things got wrong after that, which we didn't realize until after Endgame. But let's talk about those games, which yeah, I really did enjoy Infinity Ward. Like it was a film that was pretty much heartbreaking, and of course, when we finally saw like Thanos snapped his fingers and made the villain, pretty much the best villain that we got by Marvel, and I would say just and by just villain standpoint, a good villain, but the best one ever. I wouldn't completely say. I mean, he was pretty much a villain that we've never seen before, but also kind of an interesting villain, a pure evil villain with kind of sympathetic standards that was never seen before. Wasn't really seen in that standard point, but was pretty much seen in way too many of those Marvel films, which Ultron was something they kind of tangled too much, and was the point where they kind of messed up really much. Being too much sympathetic, and too much like 50 of the sympathetic and 50 like pure evilness, like trying to get rid of Avengers and humanity, but also caring about some stuff. But like, it's just so damn confusing. Like, stick to one thing. Like, that's literally what Darth Vader was, and literally what Palpatine was literally a pure evil thing, which was very entertaining, but also had some boring aspect. But Darth Vader, my goodness, was he a goddamn badass, and pretty much a intelligent villain. Which, I mean, if he had literally gotten the Infinity Stones, he would use those Infinity Stones in its full potential. Like, man, what he did in Endgame was flipping stupid. Like, I mean, I know he was inevitable, but destroying these stones instead of using them like an actual pure villain would do. Like, I don't know if you're actually a pure genius or if you're pure dumb, but if Darth Vader or like Jack Horner or actually Titan had these kind of power, they would use it in actual full potential and actually taking over the world. And even like there was literally a what if episode from Phase 4, which had Ultron pretty much had Vision and literally used the Infinity Stones in their full potential, literally destroyed everything. And then when he was done with one universe, he's going to another and literally trying to conquer it or literally destroy everything and just trying to do with even evil stuff, which that is just peak villainous. But of course, also show his actual strength, which proved too much for Watcher. But yeah, other than that, he was a pretty great villain. And then when the Wasp happened, and then Captain Marvel happened, and then Endgame. I mean, those two films kind of got the yikes. But Endgame, well, it was a neat finale. Like the end of the saga, finally. And of course, the epilogue was like the No Way Home, which, or actually Far From Home, which which was the overall problem with, or something going wrong with both Sony and Disney. Oh boy. When I learned from that, with the help of Mila, which, when I learned about the truth about him, oh boy, was I not satisfied. But yeah. But something about 2018 that was also pretty interesting was how do I say? Well, there was all. Well, I wouldn't say interesting, but like sad passing of my grandmother from my mother's side, which was sad, and I did miss her. But yeah, so things like that happen. But of course, even after that, I would say my journey from YouTube kind of got interesting when I finally got SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1954, and of course finally having DVDs of Shin Godzilla. That's when things went, oh, something. And then finally watched Game of Thrones, which was also pretty awesome until the season 8 happened, and you know what happens. Just pure stupidity. And yeah, it was also the time when I actually get to listen about Spotify music a lot. I think that young childhood of me kind of listened a lot of those type of stuff. And I actually watched Devilman Crybaby, which was a pretty amazing show. Then I got to see other animes that I also saw, which I forgot which one it was, but let's just say I was pretty interested in anime in that age. And of course, God of War happened, which I wished I had a PlayStation 4, but I did get a printed instead, which wasn't a bad option either. But I also did finally get a Nintendo Switch when I actually had a summer job, which thanks to that I finally got the things I wanted before. I never had the chance. And my journey begins. But I also got money from school, or like high school, when I got some ink cash by them as well, which let's just say it was interesting because I wanted a Shin Godzilla figure as well, which I actually did get, and as well as SH Monster Arts. Or was it later on? Actually, it was in 2019 when I got them, which, yeah. So, what else did I learn about 2018 that I should have saw it coming? Well, Marvel stuff is one thing. Star Wars is also another thing that I kind of did not enjoy or even did watch because, yeah, learning what happened was really, really something that was a bit destructive. I mean, a lot of things happen. Let's just say that. But yeah. Also learning about the VTubers as well. Believe me or not. Like, Kizuna AI. I was hooked. And then, when Endgame happened, then came King of the Monsters, which, if you ask me what I enjoy more, Endgame or King of the Monsters, at first I would say Endgame because it had a great final battle. But after thinking about it right now, King of the Monsters. Because, oh man, seeing the Phase 4 now kind of get me question why seeing Endgame now after seeing the Phase 4 really put me to question why I even enjoyed them. Because the pure dumbfounding stupidity they had was so damn... it just makes me furious. And it also didn't happen when after 2019, which actually got my channel a little bit of a peak, and also got me Shin Godzilla and such, and also other things that I began to do, which I forgot to remember, but there was a lot of things that happened, but try to mention it in my stream is a bit, well, journey, but oh yeah, there was also the first time when I saw Bumblebee, which I had either two options, which was Spider-Verse or Bumblebee, and I chose Bumblebee because even then I wanted to see what it was, because it had some interesting aspect and I wanted to see it in theaters, and Lord and behold, it was great. It was pretty good. And there's also one thing I also learned in 2018 and 2019 is Doom, which got me into Doom that happened to me right now. And then, of course, other games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, of course, other interesting animes, which I kinda saw, like Gundam. I saw like Gundam Slayer. I saw Full Metal Alchemist 2003 and Brotherhood, which was pretty interesting. There we go. There we go. Maybe that will help. And then after my graduation at high school, I had two things. Well, university or job. And I choose job. Well, I literally had internship first before actually getting an actual job. And my budget was not that high, and it was also the time when I began to sell my stuff, because I need money, I need food, gotta did some questioning stuff, and well, I needed to have some budget. But to finally come to, I finally have the stuff that I have right now, I would say I'm quite happy. But I do kind of wish I have more, subscribers as well. which, or actually more views. That's I mean, I still do this for fun, but I also want to see well, viewer counts as well, which is a big problem for me because well, not that focused or interested in it, but right now I kind of want to see how it feels like. Because I'm now a little bit tired of just being a ghost, and considering my viewer count kind of increased over the year, like from 2019 or 2020, which COVID hit and everyone just got, well, everything happened a lot. Like Me Too, wokeness, and pure dumbfounding of stuff. And my intelligence began to peak. And of course, Wolf of Cybertron trilogy happened, and studio series kind of caught some of my interest, but I was pretty much busy with SH Monsters and stuff. That is until I actually had the Bumpy Transformers and some other things that I kind of wanted. Yeah, how can I explain about 2020? Well, let's just say that me trying to capture things with OBS and stuff wasn't really possible, and all I wanted was to actually have an actual computer, which would have happened in 2021 if I actually got the one job, but sadly to say that when an recursion happened and I was not qualified, I was a bit bummed. But of course I also found out about Shoshi Store, which was the store actually got me into Transformers, which in a good price. And of course, Big Firebird Night Sea was something that in my wish list that I always wanted, and finally when I had it, it's like a dream come true. And it didn't matter if it was, well, the RC head or just a different head. All I wanted was that Big Firebird product, which I'm glad I do have now. Speaking of which, That is also a thing I kind of think is overrated. Toy World Freedom Leader, which, I'm gonna be honest, I think that figure looks horrendous. I know some people kind of find it a little bit of a master, kind of a piece of art, but really, that a piece of art that the convoluted, over-engineered piece of garbage. Yeah, sure. Like I have the same opinion, same thought with that. Same opinion with that with the Toy World Devastator, which I know that many Toy World products have convoluted transformation and overly tight bull crap and just things breaking here and there, which is also the main reason why I don't have that much Transformers because of that. And before you ask, oh, but what do you have these? Well, at least they're fun. I mean, here's also a bit of a issue I have with people like saying that the non-transforming Transformers, they like, oh, why doesn't it transform? I like Transformers when they transform. Well, yeah, well, if you like the things that transform, well, why don't you transform them in your review? If you say you like it transforming things, like having Toy with Freedom Leader, or like having it like having it in your hand, like it's good, it's because it transforms. Well, if that's the case, why don't you transform it together with the MMO1 Optimus Prime? Like, come on! If you're trying to prove a point that you like only Transformers that transforms, then transform your stuff. And if you say that you're transformed once and then never transformed again, that's just proving the point that it's just you just proving then your point is invalid. Like, you can't just say stupid shit like that and then not transforming your Transformers. If you're trying to prove a point that you only like transforming safe products that only transform, that you don't like transforming Transformers that doesn't transform when you don't transform your Transformers every time. Like, if you do enjoy the transformations, that you enjoy transformations, but you're gonna have some logic to it. Like, you like transforming things, but when it's actually convoluting mess, then you don't like the transform, but don't like transforming overly complex that isn't fun. Then that would be a valid point. But saying that you don't like transformers, so that doesn't transform, then you're just pure, well, dumb. Like, come on. And plus, there's all other people that kind of enjoy it without looking, well, kind of convoluted mess, because every people are not you. Everyone is not each other. Everyone is different. And considering everyone everyone wants a accurate looking transformer without transformation, because sometimes when a thing transforms, sometimes, well, joints over time loosens. With non-transformers, it wouldn't be any problem, but when it's a transformer, they'd be a floppy mess. Sorry for being a little bit loud and such, but sometimes people like that just piss me off. Because they don't use brain. Like they have any brain to begin with. I mean, to be honest, they have is like goddamn. Well, they just sold their brain for some reason. I wonder why. I work my stuff to get these. Sure, these people as well. That's the point of the joke. But yeah. Like, I know there are some people that kind of don't like non-transforming figures and statues, which I understand, but there are other people that have different opinions. And there's also people like Connor that just like figurines that's just statues, which he kind of proved the point that he just wanted to have it in one pose and that's it, which kind of makes sense. Like sometimes when you have a figure like Toy War Freedom Leader or something like that, you're trying to have it in your collection, but when you're trying to pose it, it's just, well, let me have a different pose, but then over time it just loosened up. But for statues, they're just solid, no gaps, no nothing, just solidity and beauty and all that sort of stuff. And that's what the point of a statue is, which many people like. Go. Now I need to find the button is, which I will find later, but now it's done. Okay, let's just finish up these guys before I lose my goddamn mind, but I'll transform them all as soon as possible. I'm so done. I'm almost done. Like, come on. And no offense, but sometimes you kind of try to prove a point, but only gets it valid later on. Like Transformers, they always know for kibble. The only reason why those in the show don't have kibble is because of laziness and cheap. Oh, pretty much just doesn't have well, it's just that back then they didn't want to spend time with those sort of stuff. I mean, look at G1. Like, they are pretty much notorious for literally, well, have animation errors, which the movie also has animation errors as well. Like, it doesn't matter if the budget is this little bit higher, the animation error is still there. You're just gonna look harder. Actually, don't look harder because it's pretty obvious. And it's kind of crazy that people say that it's pretty much better than G1 with G1 show, which I don't agree. There's some stuff that G1 has, which this movie reboot doesn't charm. Yes. And of course, 2020 was also the peak of me actually caring more about the Doom games, which I think the first, I know that 2019 Christmas, when I officially playing with the Xbox One, I finally got the Game Pass and played Doom, like 2016. And then later on, there was Nintendo Switch, believe it or not, which actually got me to play the classic Doom, which there won't be any excuse of me not playing the Doom games because it costs like $5, Jobby. I mean, come on, man. You play some classic games like the Doom games. Like, come on. If you want to be a Doom fan, at least play the good old games. I mean, you're literally playing Donkey Kong. Why not also Doom? It's literally just $5. It's $5. $5. Do-do-do. But yeah, when my birthday happened, I finally got the copy of Doom Eternal, and boy, did I just went wild. I'm literally notorious for actually liking finding secrets and stuff, which I'm glad Doom actually had something like that, because I am literally adventurous. Which also kind of drives me a little bit nuts when people just ignore some secrets. Because, I mean, sure, they want to play it for the story, but also just explore a little bit. Just find something. Look at the map. Like, trying to find something else. Like, trying to find secrets. Find Easter eggs. That's literally what games is for. Finding Easter eggs. But yeah, what I'm trying to explain about the Transylvania films, which I've seen all of them, which fourth one, wow, it was bad. But then also learning about the film's production run, which I've seen deleted scenes, which I'd say one of them, which is Love Bites, which is probably my favorite, and I consider that the overall canon, and all these things that happen, just bad ending, and just, well, ignore that whatever happened later on happened. Just everything that happened after that, just I wouldn't consider that canon to me. Just one, because everything else that happened before just was shit. I'm not gonna deny it. Even for me, I was like, ugh, come on. We only have like movies that literally have a dead parent. Don't give us that kind of bullshit. I mean, why couldn't you be like the Addams family? That would have been more interesting. And also learn a little bit more about the overall fucking hotel and stuff. Explore a little bit. Don't give us a romance plot. Or at least trying to do something like the Percy Jackson novels. Have some kind of a friendship and such. And of course, father and daughter relationships. But yeah. But yeah, the King of the Monsters SH Monsters were pretty awesome for me. Even though they had some flaws, they were pretty interesting. I mean, sure, they weren't completely 100% accurate, but then again, that's literally SH Monsters for you. I know for sure that Higher Choice is literally doing accurate stuff right now, but availability is the question, because sometimes they're a bit questionable and not for the best. So, now for these guys. I'm gonna see how much battery I have left because. Okay, I need to stop recording right now. So, actually, after this, transformation. I need to stop record because I only have 30 batteries left and I need battery. So, yeah. I would say this MPM 12 is quite underrated. In short, it may not look the best, but then again, the animation, the overall CGI model was just done for months, and considering the overall process of big movie was done, and the overall truck mode was only seen in seconds, I don't care. Like, they don't care if what these robots look like in the overall movie, so why should I care? Look. There we go. So, there we go. Whew, boy, I might look up later, but that was that. Whew. Well, tomorrow we're gonna do a finale of Transformers. Oh boy. God damn. That was a lot. And a workout. Well, see you later, everybody.